This desk is filthy. Loads of stuff just piled up. Need a good clean. What is that one doing? Yeah, she'll calm down in a moment. She's a bit flustered because she's not sure. Words. She's not sure where the light is coming from. Also, excuse me, my voice. It's the first time I've properly been using my voice this morning. Well, it's not entirely true. I said hi to some dog walkers in the park. Ooh. Hi, everyone. Hi and welcome. I hope you're having a lovely morning. A quick update for those passing through the stream. Please know that I'm working on Armor Bullshittery Part 10. The video is entering quality assurance this week, so it's just a case of trying to polish the finished video. But yeah, how are you all doing? Oh. And then Nadcat. If I put plural, people would wonder where the other ant queen is. She's fine, she's in the other test tube. For those not familiar, that's Queen Millicent. She's a black garden ant queen. She looks a bit lonesome, but her workers are actually nearby in the other chamber. There's one of them talking to her. So the workers are actually in the adjacent chamber, guarding most of the eggs and the larvae. So she's not alone by any measure. She's got like 30 or 40 of her daughters, about 1 centimetre to her left. I'll pan over in a minute and you can see them. Hang on. So that's one queen that I've got. The other one is right here, flopped behind me on the sofa bed, which is unfurled because, well, I just kind of got lazy and I just pulled the sofa bed out and just flopped straight into bed. And also, it's much nicer in here with the air conditioning on after the day. So yeah, I can just flop into bed and it's in a much cooler room rather than the bedroom, which is also right adjacent to the toilet, so it's kind of smelly. Ugh. Thank you, Michael. Michael Archangel, and copious amounts of bingo. Thank you, both of you. How much effort do the ants take? Barely any, Spectre. They're an extremely low-maintenance pet. Although, granted, that's only initially. Once they turn into a full ant farm, apparently they get quite difficult to manage. So, we've yet to reach that point. Apparently, that's coming. Thank you, Kyrus. Hi there, Kyrus. So yeah, how's everyone doing? So yeah, apologies. I'm feeling a bit between games once again. I was incredibly bored on the weekend. So bored that I loaded up a bunch of different games, launched them for 5 minutes, decided that I wasn't in the mood, and then just got back on with work, frankly. I think I've got a bit of a problem. My work-life balance is so fucked. It really is. I suppose that probably comes naturally with the territory, but I just found myself working. I somehow can't relax. If I've got a project that's nearly... I don't know how other people... I can't speak for other people. If I've got a project nearly done, I can't relax. I just can't... I can't relax. I'm just super wound up until it's finished. I just get into this obsessive mode, this obsessive haze. Right, got to get it done. So that's where I am, unfortunately. I'm in this incredibly stressed out. Because Armor Bullshittery is 18 minutes and 39 seconds long. I watched through half of it this morning and took a whole load of notes, so polishing notes. Oof, it's a bit rough. It's very rough. The opening 2 minutes are very, very rough. I want to redo all of them. I think I've gone too far. Too much text. Can't read it. Too much. Got to dial it back. So yeah, gonna redo. Yeah, but just normal quality assurance. I'm just gonna go through and try and just try and fix stuff and make it smoother, easier to view. Casanova, this will be the start of... Is it week 8? I think it is, isn't it? Sorry. Ah, dear. So yes, anyway, so too long didn't read is I need to polish the Armor Bullshittery. There's something else I wanted to talk about momentarily. I've got to do something else today for a different project. I'll talk about that in a moment. But yes, for those just joining, you're looking at a queen ant in a... She's in an ant farm, so... Well, I can just show you the picture. Hang on. So it's about the size of the palm of your hand, lying flat on the table, made out of sort of molded plastic there, like a thermoplastic, and then you've got like a cork insert that's been drilled to have chambers. It wasn't filled with sand when I got it. I filled it with sand personally. And we're looking at the section just to the south side of the first chamber. So that boot-looking bit highlighted in red at the bottom. That's what we're looking at. So the camera is positioned on pretty much the western point, staring directly east. You can even see the little flecks of sand on the glass there. That correlates to the tiny flecks of sand that you see there. So yes, she is a queen of the of the black garden ant variety, a very common type of ant here in the cities of South England. They tend to live beneath paving stones and that sort of thing, hence the sand. I wanted to get them in a fairly natural environment for them, at the very least. I hope so, Itato. I do want to... Sorry, I beg your pardon, Itato. 1 minute. Apologies there. Yes, I would like to. I would like to do some more video essays. Again, it's just a question of, trying to find the time. They have an exit out? Yes, they do. So, and not pictured here, is that they've got like a... So picture the same cast, but instead of having a cork insert, it's like a glass, almost like a fish tank. Like you can reach in, you can put your hand in. So that's their outworld. So the ants go out there and go and forage. And you can put food in there and they can go find it. And some people, they attach pipe systems to their outworld so they can move all around to a completely different chamber, across the room or whatever. So yeah. Yeah, I would like to, Pootis. I'm gonna level with you. I'm so just stressed out. I need a break. After this bullshittery, I need a few days to just relax. Yeah. How did I get the ants to elite? So do you remember a few days ago, at the height of the... Well, here in the UK at least, you saw all of these insects flying in the air? So it was the day of the flying ants, which is the nuptial flight of ants in the summer. They wait for a very, very hot, dry day, and then they take flight. So they send their juvenile queens up into the sky with their wings. They mate in the sky, and then they land, remove their wings, and then bury themselves forever. It's a mass sort of mating thing that they do involving tens of millions of ants. So many that they appear on the radar. Not even kidding. They look like low-hanging clouds on the radar. But it's it's a strategy of sort of mass... What's the term for it? Not strong emphasis placed on any individual queen, just spamming. It's just spam as many possible locations for an ant nest as possible. There's a particular name for the strategy, isn't it? The mating strategy. So the massive majority of those queens die, but the lucky few that are able to find a nice area of unoccupied soil might set up their own ant farm. So last summer, I went out into the car park with some test tubes and I scooped up 4 queen ants that were just scurrying around, trying to find a place that was safe. Inside those test tubes were cotton wool holding back a dam of fresh water. And then I sort of plugged the other side with cotton wool so they could breathe. And and then just put them somewhere dark and quiet. In this case, my spice cupboard. So the queen ants, thinking, ooh, I found somewhere safe, started laying the eggs that were now fertilized because they'd mated in the air. That's how they do. So she's been doing this for a year or so, and she's been doing very well. Somewhere alongside her, in fact, you might be able to see them. So note the difference. So you see that ant at the top right of the frame? Look at the size of it. Now compare it to one of the ants closer to the frame, the one sat to the bottom right there. That looks smaller despite being closer to the camera. You're looking at the difference between a full worker and a nanotic, which is like a stopgap worker. They only have enough protein in their wing muscles initially. Sorry, pardon me. Basically, they've got to try and min-max worker numbers with protein, so their first workers are kind of puny. Once they've got access to real protein, though, you can see the difference. Look at it. Look at the size of that worker at the back. So she now has access to external sources of protein. She can make true workers. And they are, in the animal kingdom at least, fucking ferocious. These workers will not back down. They are highly aggressive. Of course, that doesn't matter to us as humans, but they will stand their ground and fight. Sorry, Loon. Yeah, so the large ant to the bottom left moving now, that is the queen, quite obviously. But the worker she's standing over now is a true full-grown worker. Although full-grown is the wrong term. So once they're hatched from their eggs, they don't really grow much. Their exoskeletons sorry, not eggs. Once they remove themselves from their pupa, once they pupate, their exoskeleton hardens and then it does not change. So they don't grow over the course of their lifespans, at least the workers don't. They just stay the same size, as far as I know. But yeah, my point is more that she has successfully found external sources of protein. So she's eaten, the workers have brought her protein, she's eaten it, and she's made massive, chonky, swole workers. Yeah, she's going from strength to strength. I must admit, I'm weirdly attached to this colony now. It's like watching them grow up. It's quite, when a worker gets killed by something, I'm like, oh, she's lost a few of them. And of course, when the colony gets massive, she'll have to lose some of them in order for population controls. But I'm like, I don't want anything bad to happen to them. Invictus, sort of. They don't really have a burial chamber. They just... hang on. They currently take the ants to... You see the text at the bottom right of the screen, exit to the overworld? They keep dumping everything next to the word to, which is very annoying because I want them to use their outworld as the trash pile so I can clean it, but they're not cooperating. So they keep dumping everything in that corner and I can't get to it and it's annoying because the top glass doesn't come off. So I'm like, fuck. Never mind. Oh well. Hang on. Sorry, the chat window's gone wonky. There we go. Ah, dear. Possibly Lunarisnia. I'm not really in the mood right now. Look at that ant getting kicked in the head. I'm not really in the mood right now for Planet Zoo. Sometimes Jade, but not for me. Not really my type of content, I'm afraid. Thank you, Strap-On Master. Thank you, Strap-On. Who will fertilise the eggs in the colony? So Glappy, during the nuptial flight, when they all take flight and mate, they give the queens enough DNA for their entire lifespan, which is pretty impressive considering how long-lived these creatures are. So yes, they have everything they need. The males, having served their purpose, die. Where's she going? So the males are really just queen-seeking missiles. They deliver DNA to their queens, and then they just die off. So all of the ants that you see scurrying around... Well, all the ants you see in the frame are female. All of them. The queen is the only one that's fertile. The rest are just, well, sterile drones. They exist to serve their queen. And then, of course, she will have an opportunity to spread her own DNA. If the colony gets mature, they will start to create their own juvenile queens and also drone. Sorry, drone is the wrong word. Sorry, drone is the correct word for the males. I'm so sorry. Workers is the correct word for these ones you see on the screen. But yeah, they'll start to create their own winged ants, male and female. And they're called elates. Both male and female. So this summer, when I went for a walk, like before the heat wave, I had a wonderful moment in the local park where just as I was entering the park, I got to witness one of the ants' nests send their flying ants, but they were doing it in such a way that they were flying into the sunbeams. So the sun was shining through the trees in such a way that as the ants were taking flight, their wings were illuminated in the sunbeam. And I just, it sounds sad, I sound old, but I just took a moment, just stood there with Lulu, just watching them take flight. And I was like, good luck, ladies. Godspeed. I wonder how far they flew. I wonder how far their wings take them. Oh yeah, I also took some time to... I was trying to spot one of the males, but I couldn't really spot one, which is weird. I thought they'd be more obvious. I'm told that they look a lot like wasps. They're very thin, but I couldn't spot any. I know, Sam, I know. You know, I think I am. I think I'm just genuinely just getting older, and like I enjoy fishing. I like peace and quiet. That's nice. Loud things. Just to be fair, I was like that when I was younger as well. I went to a nightclub once and it was horrible. Ugh. It's like the music's too loud and everything smells because no one's smoking anymore because smoking's illegal in buildings, so it just means that everything smells of sweat. I tried to go buy a drink and it was horribly expensive. Couldn't talk to anyone because the music was too loud, and then someone hurt my neck. I told the story a million times. I walked through the dance floor, and then a hand just lunged out from the crowd and grabbed me by the neck. He was a friend of mine. I worked with him, but he was drunk, and he pulled me so hard by the neck that it just, oh fuck, the next day it was so painful. So painful. Thank you, Scooter. Thank you very much, Scooter. He's a nice bloke. He didn't, you know, he was a great bloke. He was just pissed. Where's the Queen gone? She's gone into the other chamber to the left. Maybe the light's annoying. Shall I pan the camera? Well, give it a minute. Let's see if she comes back in a second. She's probably off to go and see what the larva are doing. So sorry. Anyway, for the people just passing through the stream, yeah, won't be too long this morning because I'm going to go get on with work today. So I need to quality assure Armor Bullshittery Part 10. The video is 18 minutes and 39 seconds long, and I haven't done any quality assurance at all. So it's a case of going through and spotting errors and generally trying to make it all smooth. It's a bit rough. I had a look at it this morning, or the first half, and it's... I made some decisions that I'm regretting now. So I'm like, nope, that's got to change, Cut that scene out, that's not funny. Yeah, so, but today, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that tomorrow, if you'll forgive me. What I need to do today, I have a project on the back burner which has been stuck in what I can generously call development hell for years. And I just want to see if I can push it forward. So by push it forward, basically it's an animation. It's an animation that I started, and the reason it's taken years is I cannot draw. So what I'm doing is I'm outsourcing the animation. Now, what I thought when I started, oh, I'll just pay an artist to do it all for me. You know, an animator. The problem is, it involves it's Dungeons and Dragons with ZF. But it's got 9 characters, and it's 20 minutes long. That is very expensive. As in the quotes I was getting back from animation studios, or animators. I was like, okay, that's a bit too much. Like, I didn't think it was going to be... Well, there's a reason why animation is so short on YouTube. It's time-consuming, really time-consuming. Especially with 9 characters who are all talking. Not necessarily at the same time, but frequently. Anyway, so I thought, okay, that's not good. Yeah, it's not going to work. So I thought instead is I would animate it. I wanted to animate it. And then I'll have someone do the asset. So draw the characters, give me like 15 different mouth shapes, give me like articulated arms that I can move, and I will animate it. Which is why in the bullshitteries you've seen recently, when I say recently in the last 2 years or so, you know those little like animated characters that occasionally appear? That's me having learnt how to do it. That's just me, yeah, South Park basically. So having a static image with moving eyeballs, eyebrows, jaw, arms, you know. So, the problem there is, basically, the artists, plural, that I would utilise have full-time jobs. And so do I, because I'm animating bullshitteries. So, I would continually hit hard blockers, and then have to wait like a week to get a response back from, like, can you do this? And then it was like, okay, they're busy with this, it's going to take them another 2 weeks. Okay, I'm busy with this, it's going to take me 4 weeks to finish this bullshittery. And then it all just kind of slowed down into glue, basically. So if I could draw myself, it wouldn't be a problem. I bought a tablet for this purpose, but I'm going to be honest with you folks, I just can't draw. I just can't do it. I have no sense of perspective. Thank you, Twiggy. Thank you. Thank you very much, Twiggy. Is that the Queen? No, it's a worker. Hi there, Tate Mars. Holy shit, dude. Hope you're well. Hope you're very well, Tate Mars. So, yes, but the update is that animation, it consists of... Wait, where is it? I've actually got a... Do I still have it saved? I've got like a breakdown that I can link. Basically, there are 9 characters and 7 of them are done. So, it's feeling quite close to just over the finish line. Hence why I want to try and put in a bit more time. Hang on. Oh, fuck no, I'll never find it. Hang on. 1 second, let me just pan the camera left to see if I can find the Queen. She's bogged off. Whoops. Oh dear. For some reason, if the camera gets too much input, then it tends to freeze. That's the next chamber. Let's see if we can get a better shot. What's that? The Queen's got her bum blocking the window. I think she's gone upside down as well. Yeah, she's upside down on the glass now, in the tighter chamber to the left. Can you see her mouth parts upside down? So if she can move out the way, that would be appreciated, because she's standing on the eggs. See if she can move out the way. Hang on. So this is the chamber where all of her workers are, to the left side of the frame. The reason they're over here is I opened up one of the plugs to the left side of the ant farm, and I squirted some distilled water, some fresh distilled water in there. So they're all having a nice drink. It's probably also nice and cool in there, so they're enjoying it. Thank you, Grethor. Thank you very much for the tier 2, Grethor. Thank you. Much appreciated, thank you. And thank you, Fly8 Oi. Thank you very much, Fly8 and Flyboy. Thank you. And Megan Ladon. Thank you, Megan. Can't see anything beneath the massive ants. We can switch to the other camera. What are they doing? They're reacting to the light. Yeah, sorry, Glad. It's a bit... ew, isn't it? Yeah, you can see her abdomen. If they could move out the way, that would be appreciated. I could switch to the other camera. I've got a much close, like a microscope cam. Well, this is the microscope cam, but it's on like a, it's quite some distance from the glass. There, you can see the lava, look. They're moving out the way now. They're squished in the corner. Okay, they're getting upset. I'm going to move the light away. Hang on. Sorry, they were getting upset. There we go. Thank you, Sandman. Thank you very much, Sandman. Oh. So this chamber here, this is the entrance chamber. So the entrance to the nest is actually just to the top right of the frame. The ants that are standing here are very much doing what xenomorphs would do in the film Aliens. They are hanging from the ceiling, hanging from the walls, conserving energy. And also, they are ready to sally forth in the defense of the hive, of the nest even, if it is breached by any sort of intruder. If an alarm pheromone is detected, they will all spring alive. They will spring... Well, they're alive now, obviously, but they'll sally forth and charge. So they are defending, is what they're doing. They're on standby, waiting for orders, really. But yeah, there's no need for them to waste energy by faffing around, running back and forth. They are waiting for chemical signals to determine what to do. Yeah, they're just guarding. Creatures of pheromones are ants. They react accordingly based on what they detect, which unfortunately means that it can be exploited. Creatures that can generate pheromones can fake them, or they can grab a worker ant from outside and coat themselves in the same pheromones, which is why ants have lots of parasites, unfortunately. And when I say parasites, not in the sense of like a mite that lives on them, I mean insects that wander into the hive, into the nest. Pretty much every species of ant has at least one other species of parasitical insect that lives in the nest with them. They're just disguising themselves as ants by coating themselves in pheromones or whatever. Some of them are quite bad, actually. Some of them are really bad, like kills the whole nest bad. But yeah, they're just hanging out. Sorry, what was I saying? So yes, in a few minutes I'm going to go crack on with the editing and bog off for the morning. But in short, armor bullshittery needs to be quality assured. There's lots of work to do. Before I do that, though, I want to queue up some work for the artist who's available. That's why I want to not do editing of armor today. I'm going to queue up some work for this artist, and hopefully they can give me some models that some assets that I can animate. So there are 9 characters in that D&D animation, and I finished 7 of them. The 2 that remain are unfortunately the most complicated. Now, 9 characters, mostly ZF. We're all talking and joking and pulling each other's chains, because we're ZF. The last 2 characters, it's me and Cyanide. We have by far the bulk of the dialogue, because we're continually taking the piss out of each other. Now, that's the first problem. The first problem is that there's just a shit ton to animate, because we're almost always in frame, and we're almost always bickering. The second problem, and this is just pure happenstance, when you do animation, I've learnt, that the most important thing in the world is eyeline. If you don't match eyeline, it doesn't work. They look like they're staring off into the middle distance. You have to match the eyeline. Now, for most of the characters, that doesn't matter. They're literally the same size. They're mostly humans. Most of us played humans, with the exception of Nep, who played a dwarf. But anyway, there are the 2 exceptions, Nep that played the dwarf, and the other exception is Cyanide, who, again, through pure happenstance, picked a halfling, a hobbit. And me, being a human, I'm one of the tallest characters in the party, and since we share the dialogue, our eyeline is fucked, because me and Cyanide are continually talking, and I've got to keep looking down, which means I've got to articulate the necks, which is actually a little harder than it sounds. Articulated neck movement is actually pretty tough, especially if there's not any sort of armor between the so it's one of the reasons that animators, I think at least, I assume, put like an armored, I don't know what it's called, like around the collarbone to hide the joint, because when the neck moves, the skin's got to move, hasn't it? So that's a problem, because Lump doesn't have that, my character doesn't have that, Sai's character doesn't have that. We're dirt poor. We've got like cloth. So we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might rejig the design a little bit. Have him crouch. Well, then that's a whole. I could do laughing, but a conversation, like we're just bantering, and it's like he talks, then he talks, then she talks, and he talks, and like the heads are moving back and forth and looking at each other. I can't have my character lean and crouch down. Besides, it look like I'm condescending, Sai, which would be funny. But speaking of funny, another error that I made during the editing. Wait, hey, I've got a picture of it. Let me find the picture of it, 'cause it's funny. So how I'm doing this is I'm animating the models in Adobe After Effects, and I'm doing a sort of master model, right? So here's the body standing neutrally, and it normally just stands in the background, just just you know, just idling. I've got like a bunch of idle animations when they're not talking to save time. Okay, hang on a minute. Just trying to find it. I'm just gonna upload it again. Hang on. So I've got a bunch of idling animations where they're just standing around, but I fucked up. Hang on. Where is it? Update? Is it in updates? So I'm just searching through the assets. Yeah, have a look at this. So here's like an incredibly crude pre-visualization. So this is back when the graphics all looked like paint. Hang on. There we go. Is that the correct link? Have a look at this link. So basically what I did, in short, yeah, I'm going to link it in the chat. In short, because I accidentally saved over the base layer, the master puppet for Lump Beef Broth, the character wearing red, I accidentally saved over it with him holding this iron pot. It's part of some dialogue later when it says, what's in your inventory? An iron pot. So it meant that he was holding the iron pot the entire time. He just looked like this one character was obsessed with this iron pot. So yeah, everywhere he goes, he's holding this fucking iron pot. I'm like, fuck's sake. Oh dear. I know. See, that's just a previs. The only purpose of that was to provide a guide for the rest of the animation. So where's a better example? Hang on. Is there like a before and after? Update old version. Oh god, it's a bit of a rabbit's warren. Sort by date modified? Oh no, don't do that. Hang on. What are those two ants doing in the foreground? Trying to find like one of the GIFs that I've posted up on Patreon. I feel reluctant to say that because it's always like, yeah, that's a fucking. You know, I don't. It's a private project, and I'm not even that confident in it. So it's like, oh god, I don't want patrons to be wasting their time and money, not with shit like this. Hang on. Fuck, I can't find it. What is it even called? Goblin? No, that's just all the gifts of all the goblins. Sort by size? What's the other queen doing? Yeah, she's okay. She's happy. She's filthy. No, I can't seem to find it, sorry. I was trying to find all the gifts that I've pre-prepared. Sorry, I should have maybe done this sooner. What's that? Bugbear note. Horse animation. Oh, why is that saved there? What the fuck? I've got a random bunch of PUBG gifs. What on earth? Hang on. Ooh, this could be it. Comparison. Work in progress. Shit, no, this isn't it. Okay, sorry, I don't know where it is. I thought I kept them safe, but they're somewhere else. Never mind, I'll look for them later. Anyway, sorry, the too long didn't read is I've got like a project that I'm not sure if I can ever finish it, or if I can finish it, I'm not sure if it's any good. But, you know, I want to put a bit more time into it. Thank you, Lin Game. Thank you very much, Lin Game. Okay. So, yes, Armor Bullshittery. So, I'm going to keep editing it, yeah, from tomorrow. Just gotta polish it. Quality assure it. Hi there, SWAT Knight. Probably not quad. I've kind of I'm no longer in the mood for Operation Flashpoint. Okay. You'd like to see what the timeline of the edit looks like on a finished project. How do you mean, Outlaw? I can show you one. That's not difficult. I've got lots of those. Sorry, do you mean Adobe Premiere? Because it looks like this. Hang on. Yeah, that's easy peasy. It looks like. Let me do the latest. Let me just show you Armor. Hang on. Current project. Here it is. Armor 3, Part 10. Updates, Part 10. So this is just all the stuff that I send out to the Twitch subscribers and the patrons. So hang on. Just gonna upload it up to. Shit. There's the imager. There we go. Just dragging and dropping. Bear with me. I used to post them all up onto like an image hosting site and then just post the links out in emails that Twitch would provide to, you know, keep the Twitch subscribers up to updated. But Twitch took that feature away. So have a look. So Premiere timeline. So this is what it looks. So this is what the latest bullshittery looks like on Premiere. So Adobe Premiere, for those not familiar, is just a non-linear editing suite. It's just where you cut video clips together. It's good for very simple editing, so just putting scenes together with some audio. Within each of those green blocks is a sequence. So basically, a series of, well, whatever you want really, video and audio that you've squished together, that you've not compressed, but you've put in a folder, I suppose is the best way to describe it. And if you double click on any one of those blocks, you'll see this. No, I fucked up again. You'll see. Oh, come on. This? Question mark? Yeah. You'll see this. That. So sequence opened. So that is the final green block there, that's the one that says tricky scene. So double click on it, you open it up, and you see all of the cuts revealed. So you can see that the cutting is quite heavy. Each of those blue squares, or blue rectangles, indicates just a cut. It's just where I've chopped the video. The audio beneath it is where I've chopped the audio. Note that the audio is not often in sync with the blue rectangles, because I have this habit of cutting the, get to the point, get to the joke. Sometimes it's better to just cut laughter, that sort of thing. Stopping to laugh or stopping for breath on any sort of comedy thing is fine, but it does sort of kick the flow in the head quite a lot. Better to... Sorry, the links. I put the links in the chat. FLS, sorry. FLS Smith. FL Smith. So yes, I just keep chopping it until it seems smooth to play back very quickly. I feel that's something that's quite important for YouTube specifically, in that time is limited. People are browsing through clips often, so no one has that. I know there are exceptions to every rule, but for the most part, most people don't sit there and watch long-form content on YouTube. Just next video. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you very much, Jerry. Can you see the rhythm? You might be able to, Drig. Hang on a second. No, the numbers, they're not included. Damn. Mate, so if I were to zoom in a little bit, you'd be able to see the numbers that I'm talking about. You can see that I've ended on a 3. See that? And can you see the bigger scenes that say 2? Each of those smaller scenes, that's probably a 1. Can you see what I mean? Sorry, for those not familiar, the link that I've just posted with the green, the Premiere timeline, as an editor, what I like to do with a compilation is I like to categorize the clips either 1, 2, or 3, which is, I keep talking about this often. 3 is a really long-form joke, like me and Cyanide are bantering back and forth for 2 minutes. A 1 is a very fast joke, like a, why do you have a Deagle Moogle? Because it's Thursday, or whatever. And so, it's my opinion that when doing a compilation, you should avoid blasting your viewer too quickly with bang, 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 because you'll confuse them. But at the same time, you shouldn't make sure that you shouldn't have the punchlines so far apart that you'll bore them. The best way I find of doing it is to start with a 3, so like a big punchline, and then 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. So repeat, effectively. So sort of moving between scenes of fast-paced action, and then slow it down a bit. Then fast-paced, and slow it down a bit. You got to give your viewer breathing space. That's at least something I find is it's thrown me off quite a lot. When I look at compilations on YouTube, I'm like, oh, just slow it down. Or, you know, this is boring, you know. I fuck it up a lot, to be fair. I really fuck it up a lot. It's yeah, I look back at some of the stuff that I've edited, I just go, ugh. Oh, dear. Dark Shadow says, please stop killing every NPC we meet in Divinity. Yeah, that happened, didn't it? I know, Casanova, but you know what I mean, at least. As an editor, the structure has got to be the first thing you consider. The structure's got to be, the foundations have got to be good. Sorry, what are the ants doing? Yeah, they're just milling around. The Queen's in the other chamber. Indeed, Reaper makes a good point, or cases like Rocket League where that doesn't work. So as an editor, I had a problem. I got all of the clips together for Rocket League. There were very few 2s and 3s. Lots of 1s, lots of very quick jokes. And the reason for that is that Rocket League is so fast, with so many players, that there's no time to sit there and talk about, if you were a superhero, what would your name be, or whatever. There's no time for hypothetical conversations where people can think about a long punchline or whatever. Something like DayZ, totally different. Lots of time. Like, you spend most of the game just moving through forests or whatever. You've got so much time to just banter. So I was like, well, what do I do? I've only got like 1s. Do I cancel this bullshittery? So instead what I did is I lent into it. I made a compilation of just 1s and also just some quick vocalizations, like some funny noises. Wasn't for everyone. But nevertheless, you can see how the DNA of like comedy is changed by the format of the thing that was being played. Rocket League was very fast-paced. TF2 is also quite fast-paced. Not many 3s in that. Not many long-form jokes. Lots of, like, you know, throwaway gags. Thank you, Epi. Thank you. Yes, some people liked it, but a lot of people didn't like it. Yeah. Briefly, Cool Zombie, but I don't really know much about it. If you'll forgive me, I'm not really the sort of person who jumps onto a new game when it's released. I like to wait for a little bit for the dust to settle. You can't, or at least I find, you can't really get much of a good understanding of its quality after its release. Got to wait for the dust to die down, the adverts to stop, and the influencers who are paid to shill it shut the fuck up. At least in my opinion. Then you find out what's good. Yeah, probably pop in. By that point, a few years later, yeah, you've probably got a much better idea of what is actually worth your money. I'm not going to, people aren't going to agree with me with that sort of stuff, especially on a live stream. People come here specifically, not everyone, but lots of people come here specifically to see what's good. Indeed, laughing note, I have played, I played a few games of Ready or Not. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I say that as someone who is hypercritical of someone who's got like a flagpole stuck in the ground there with the name SWAT 4 on it. I love SWAT 4, and this game is standing in its shadow. I think it does a pretty good job. Definitely needs more content though. Feels a bit incomplete. Sleeping, sort of, Milky. They're not necessarily sleeping, they're just kind of in standby mode. These worker ants are just standing, waiting for orders, is the best way to describe it. They're responding, well, not via a top-down, a top-down hierarchy, but from a bottom-up series of chemical signals. They currently have no chemical signal to respond to, so they're just preserving energy. They've gone back into a default state, which I suppose you could call sleep. Sleep's fine. But they're like robots that are awaiting more instructions, and those instructions don't come from the top. They come from their environment in the form of pheromones. One ant will detect danger, and they'll spread a danger pheromone, at which point they will come alert. Another ant will approach them and use its antenna to sort of signal, "I've found food in this direction," signaling, "Please follow me." And then the older worker ants will follow. The younger ones stay behind. The more food is there, and the greater the demand for food in the nest, the more the pheromone strength, the pheromone path is strengthened, and the more ants go in that direction. If there's lots of individual sources of food, this means that the better source is has the stronger pheromone signal, with more ants going to and from it, as in the one that's perhaps closer. And therefore they're able to make decisions with no top-down command structure. It's difficult. It's very difficult for us as apes to envision this. We are social creatures with a top-down hierarchy. So, yeah, this sort of thing is like, what? The queen is not really in control. No individual ant is in control. They're all just responding to stimuli. And good luck with it, Shadow Assassin. Good luck indeed. I do find that the text over stuff is a good... Yeah, it's a very good focusing mechanism, isn't it? To really narrow down precisely what you want the viewer to focus on. Is the other queen still around? Yes, she is, Glowmob. She's just in the other test tube, just near on the cabinet next to this ant farm. When will they take over the world? Arguably, they already have, Elf. Is it 1/5 of the mass of all land species on Earth is just ants? A laughing note. I tend to put on stuff and... Oh, there's a worker coming in. Lots of different stuff in the background. Lots of, when I do editing, I often put on things like video essay stuff. Or just people doing long-form talking. I know this is contradicting exactly what I said a minute ago about most people not watching long-form content, but no, when I'm just doing editing, I put either some live streams on in the background with my friends playing, or, say, Red Letter Media is a good one that I like to watch. Watching those three guys steadily lose their minds is funny. Yes, they are, Novi. You're looking at, Queen Millicent's brood. These are just the guards at the door. Most of the ants are to the left of the frame. Okay. What are the duties of a mod? It says Placebo. Mods, what are your duties? Why the fuck are you guys here? Placebo, this is an excellent question. Mods, why are you here? Novi, why are you here? Explain to me your duties immediately. Novi says, you modded me because we're friends. That's true, yes, actually, that happened. Tiot, hi there, Tiot. Lead an insurrection against Soviet. That's good, that's good. No, mods, your first duty is when I attend, like, a convention, you sort of herd around me as a sort of, like, protective shield. Like, you sort of, like, zip around me at great speed with the lanyards and everything. And the air around us gets disrupted with the speed at which you're running. No, you don't get lunch or whatever. Novi and Finny, you're never going to attend a convention. I've attended conventions. I have. I've been to, like, Comic-Con and stuff. Just, you know, in costume, so no one could tell I was there. Literally when? A few years ago, I did a few Comic-Cons. So I was collecting money for charity. It was the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. I was an Imperial Stormtrooper. So you know where Darth Vader is wandering around and interacting with the kids, and he's got like a squad of Stormtroopers behind him, marching in formation? That's me. So I was one of the Stormtroopers. And the story that I keep repeating, well, the thing that I keep repeating is that you can't see shit when wearing that uniform. So you cannot see anything when wearing a Stormtrooper's helmet. So every time you walk around, you're terrified that you're going to clothesline some kid that runs up to your legs. You've got like plain clothes minders next to you who are watching out specifically for this. You turn around with your weapon very slowly in case you bonk some 5-year-old in the head with the butt of your rifle. One time I was marching down the street and a band for this parade left their instruments on the pavement where we were marching. My foot went straight through a drum. I couldn't see it. I was like, oh fuck, you know, I'm so sorry. I'm really, really sorry. They were kids. They were boarding like a. It was a coach. They were getting on board a coach, so they put all their instruments on the pavement next to the the side of the coach that opens up with all the bags in it. Like the panel lifts up, so that's why it was there. But of course, we're marching, and I can't see. Oh dear. Yeah, I know. Felt awful. Yeah, but stuff like that. So yeah, popped conventions, but again, that was a few years ago. I'm gonna level with you. I got fat. There's no such thing as a fat stormtrooper. I can't really fit into my armor well anymore. Yeah, I know. I got a beer belly. Do you mean the 501st, Kojo, not the 151st? I think you mean 501st. No, but again, the story that I keep repeating about the 501st is that we were doing these convention stuff, right? And that occasionally we would do these smaller charity stuff. And I remember, like, I was new to this, okay? I'd never done this costuming stuff before, and I was asking all these questions. And every time someone mentioned there's this national, like, in the UK, I don't know where they are, presumably they're in the US, but there's this national stormtrooper thing called the 501st, and every time their name came up, everyone would sort of groan, and they'd be like, And I was like, what's wrong with the 501st? Because there are, like, local stormtrooper garrisons all over the UK, right? And I was like, what's wrong with the 501st? And then they were telling me stories of like, well, they're really strict about the requirements, and like if your armor isn't this exact size, then you don't get in. And I was sitting there sort of going, like, I was listening, I wasn't speaking. I was kind of like, well, isn't that kind of like good? You know, like you want all the stormtroopers to look completely accurate. You can't have some guy with like a Hello Kitty helmet or whatever. So in my head I was like, isn't that like good? Anyway, so in my mind I had this mental image that they were incredibly strict. And then one day we had this charity event where it was me and then I think it was like 4 other stormtroopers. It was a small one. And we got there, and then suddenly at the last minute, it was a case of, okay, you'll be joined by one guy from the 501st. First time I've ever met anyone from the 501st. He was, without trying to be rude, really fucking fat. Like, not even a little bit, like, properly fat. Like, Family Guy fat. And I was... It was comical, because I was like, that's the 501st. This is... He looks nothing like... Like, seriously, this guy's huge. And he's obese stormtrooper, basically. And I look at the photos of that event, I'm like, oh my god, dude. Like, fucking hell. So all of that stuff, was it not true about the 501st? I don't know. Did he eat the rest of the 501st? So yeah, that was weird. That was very fucking weird. Yeah. But no, I've got a beer belly, so I can't fit into my armor. It's just, yeah. It would look weird. So it'd be nice if I could lose a bit of weight, frankly. Oh, and yeah, also he had the wrong... So it wasn't... Sorry, I'm being picky. I'm being, like, really nitpicky. He didn't have the right belt, either. It wasn't correct. So the Stormtrooper belt is an acrylic... So it's like an... I know this because it's a pain in the ass. It's this acrylic piece of plastic. Sorry, ABS, not acrylic. It's ABS plastic that you wrap around yourself, but... It's really stiff, and a piece of advice that I was given is before you do the event, lay it on a radiator. So we're all getting ready in the prep room for like going on an event, and everyone's got their belts on radiators, warming up a little bit, just so it can wrap around you. And then it's got like this thick Velcro, so once it's on, it doesn't come off. So it's fully wrapped around you. So you better make sure you've taken a piss, before you're wrapped up. Yeah, he had like this fabric, like. It's wrong. It wasn't correct at all. Like, this piece of fabric. I'm guessing because the ABS plastic wouldn't physically fit around him. I'm guessing. But yeah, anyway. Your understanding is that they have tiers of costume standards. I don't know. But I'm saying this Thrin just because it was my first encounter with the 501st, and it sort of, yeah, shot my expectations, because I was like, what the fuck? I don't know, Big Damo. I broke the proper one. My ABS belt cracked. Like, it snapped when I was putting it on. I was like, fuck. And we got this, like, it's not glue. It physically melts the plastic. It's like, is it acetone? Is that true, or am I talking shit? But basically, I sort of put it in the crack, and then it melts the plastic together, and then you just sort of, like, rejoin it effectively. And after that I was like, well, no, not it was the opposite, Rockabout, because I bent it too much around me to get it tight around my at the time thin waist. That's why it cracked. Thank you. All the good names are taken. Thank you very much. And the Legend of Zanger. So sorry for the people just joining. I'm just bantering about, yeah, I just did some costuming stuff. Yeah, got in some Imperial Stormtrooper armor and marched around. Collected money for charity, which is fun. That and, it was Great Ormond Street and also some sort of veterans charity, but I can't remember the name. Yeah, she's just resting. She looks emaciated, what the fuck? can assure you this dog is fed vast amounts of food. I don't know where it all goes. Give it some breakfast after this. Thank you very much, Crab Cake. Thank you, Crab Cake. So yeah, it was fun though. What else is going on? Just trying to think about. Sorry, what were we talking about? Novi, we were talking about how I'd never go to a convention. They're not really for me generally. As in, I wouldn't go, not for like an event or something. Just not really for me. It was also too much of like a It felt too much like a sales pitch. It was like ugh. Is the weather still a hellscape in Britain, Crabcake? No, it's not too bad now. It's warm. It's still the summer, but we don't have that horrible heat wave that we had a few days ago. So there's a cool breeze coming in. Yeah. Did I go to one with Psy and SWAT? No. No, I've never been to a convention with Psy. I've only met him at his home in to the west of Britain. He invited me there on a New Year's thing. You're probably thinking of Mr. Batty. Oh, sorry, Zoob, you did the sarcastic thing. Sorry. I didn't notice the kappa. Mad John says, Comic-Con near me was mainly just a place to be dressed up and buy overpriced branded tat from weirdos and then watch some panel with voice actors. Yeah. There was lots of like actors from Game of Thrones over there, loads of them. And I need to watch what I say because I don't want this to snowball. I got touched up by a wrestler. There was like a whole bunch of wrestlers there, and I see, it's weird because I don't want to name drop because I looked at a picture and I don't think that's who it was, but there was this big, huge female wrestler and her hand crept underneath my arm. You know the armor plate stuff, the Stormtrooper plate. It was like a side-by-side picture. So yeah, that was weird. As in, sorry, to clarify, she wanted a picture with the Stormtroopers. Sorry, I'm doing my hand thing. Like, standing next to Stormtroopers. Hey, darling. Ah, dear. Jet from Gladiators was there. Oh, really? Probably wasn't the one that I went to. Good, Unique Brawn. If anything, more carefully edited footage for YouTube can only be a good thing. When I started the Bullshittery series, I among many, found myself a bit frustrated with the rise of the Let's Play thing, where people would just put a camera on nothing and then upload 3 hours of nothing to YouTube. So me tightly editing stuff is really me expressing frustration in that. DayZ was no exception, which is where I started. It was like, oh my god, just cut it tighter, get to the point. You know. Sorry, I'm sounding continually grumpy, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, cut tighter, get to the bit, get to the point. Thank you, Starry Dance. Thank you very much, Starry Dance. Oh yeah, and then came reaction videos, didn't they? Old lucky. Well, it's on with the content churn, isn't it? The next thing, then the next thing. But yeah. Well, a Black Baron. I think that it's more that it's low barrier for entry, isn't it? Just play a game, upload the footage, easy. So it makes sense. Same with reaction footage. Just watch a video and then smile or whatever. Easy. It's to be expected that you'd see lots of people do stuff like that. Which is even more interesting when you see a trend catch on that is really difficult. Like an explosion of, for example, the JCS psychology stuff. Is it JCS? Fascinating. Because it makes such a huge splash on a website with just low effort stuff. All of a sudden something with high effort blows up. Or primitive technology. You've got people going like speaking in high-pitched voices saying, "Hi, YouTube," and then don't forget to mash that like fucking. And then you've just got one dude quietly working in a forest. Blows up. Oh yeah, sorry. Did I put Queen? Yeah, pet ant. She is a weird looking ant. Oh, she's fine. Look at her. Yeah, laughing. Basically. So yeah, just a bit more. And if you'll forgive me for saying, I feel it's for me personally, it's vindication. I've always thought that audiences, you don't have to follow that advice that YouTubers often give, which is you've got to have a consistent upload schedule. You've got to do the same thing every week or whatever. Release, upload every week. No, you just got to make sure that you're not wasting people's time and they come back. If your video appears in their feed and they're like, "Oh, I enjoyed the last one, I'm going to watch this one," they'll watch it. No one's looking at their watch saying, "It's Friday, god damn, I can't wait for this Minecraft video to drop." Out wants to send me a video that I'll find interesting. Is it more furry porn? Dude, can you stop sending me that shit? Kind of weird. Oh yeah? SF Bryony? Brian Lee? Is that an L or an I? Ooh. Not heard of that, sorry. Yeah, probably too much NL. At the mercy of the algorithm. Yeah. What does the bell even do, genuinely, Lord Birdie? Is it push notifications on your phone? I've never clicked it. Yeah? Okay. No, I don't, Haynes. I hope he's okay. Yeah, we haven't seen Axolotl in a while. Hope he's having... Well, I hope he's alright. Hang on a minute. I'm not sure, Loon. I've not checked in a while. Is it really? The Unchaste? Makes sense. Makes sense. What are they doing? They're cleaning. That's one of the worker ants moving around some stuff. They've got lots of... Yeah, they've got plenty of food in their outworld, by the way. If I were to pan the camera to the side, you'd see a glass container with some chopped up... I think it's called a waxworm. So they've got some insect. They've got like a streak of honey on a piece of cardboard. They've got some biscuit crumbs that it's from a biscuit from Mag. Mag sent me a pack of biscuits, so I took a piece, made crumbs, and put it in there. They seem disinterested though, so I'm not sure what they want. Maybe they don't want anything right now. Oh, thank you very much, Nervous Hawk. Basically, Patat Zero, they are very generalist. They'll eat everything. Yeah, they will grab whatever they can and eat it or bring it back to the nest. They're not specialist ants, these ones. Let me pan the camera sideways again, see if we can see the queen. It's frozen again. Hang on. Don't know why it keeps doing that. I've got to deactivate the feed and then reactivate it. So there we go. So most of the ants are huddled against the wall where it's nice and damp. Because there's, I put some fresh water in the other chamber that they're against. It's soaked into the sand, so they're all just moist. The queen is in the foreground somewhere, and just between the two, you can see the layers of eggs and lava. So the eggs start off as small, sort of like the size of a pinhead. They're very, very small, white blobs, which they stick almost like a ribbon of balloons. They stick in one location together. Then they hatch into these maggot-looking things, which grow bigger and bigger as they're fed. You can see some of them in the frame, to the right side there. Those ones are pretty mature now. And then, when they're ready, they will coat themselves in a layer of protective silk and pupate, so transform into workers. All of them female, all of them sterile. At least initially. The males will come later, when the colony is much more mature, and their only purpose is to sit there and eat until they're ready to take flight in the nuptial. Behind them, so just to the top of the frame, is a tunnel that leads to the next chamber, but I'm a little bit worried that I was a bit too overzealous putting water into that chamber, because I might have blocked the tunnel. I can't see it, so I worry that I've accidentally gone and caused it to collapse. If that's the case, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The ants will just keep digging. How do the ants get air? So it's not airtight ballistic. It's the seams between the glass and the cork are tight enough to stop the ants from escaping, but it's not airtight. But also their outworld, which is the hang on. So you see here, so the chamber that we're looking at has been marked first chamber to the left side. They can choose to just walk out the entrance through that wall that they've built themselves on the topmost piece of white text there. And then south of that is the exit. They can just walk out. So there's an exit into like a glass sealed chamber with holes in the roof. So they can't physically escape the ant farm, but they can just get fresh air if they want it. Yeah, is the skylight still marked? Yeah. So that area that says skylight, all of that has been collapsed inwards. So the next chamber is completely flopped down. I did this by flooding the sand in the ceiling. I removed the temperature sensor and put a blunt-nosed syringe containing water, which I slid into the sand in the roof and then flooded it until the whole thing collapsed. But I made sure that there were no ants at all in the chamber before I did it. They were all lethargically sleeping in the next chamber because it was quite cold. Unfortunately, all I did was make a very muddy glass roof, in the sense that because they didn't remove it grain by grain, it's now quite dirty and you can't see shit in the next chamber, which is rather annoying. I shouldn't have been so impatient. Lesson learnt for next time. Let them do all the digging. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you very much, Xavier. Do I think they need to expand? No. They'll expand when they want to expand. Sometimes, time traveller. Not for a few years, though. And not World War II. I remember a few years ago I got extremely sick from a flu and I was more or less incapacitated and delirious. I decided to put on the YouTube channel World War I week by week, while I just lay there in a sort of fluey haze. That was quite cool. Thank you, Morgman and Boise. Thank you. But yeah. So, I'll bog off in a few moments if that's alright, folks. I do have a lot to do today. I've got to get this next bullshittery done. But before I do that, before I start polishing Armor Bullshittery Part 10, I want to queue up some work for a totally unrelated bullshittery, an animated thing that's been stuck in development hell for several years now. It's stuck in development hell because I need to go back and forth between a couple of artists who have been doing commissioned work for me. and it just adds weeks and weeks on each small piece of work or whatever. Yeah, the D&D one. The artist is available, so I want to quickly jump in and try and queue up some work for them, and then hopefully I can proceed past my blocker. So that's the problem. I can only animate up to a certain point, and then it's a case of fuck. I need new assets. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm really nervous about it because it's been stuck in development hell for so long, and I don't know if it's any good. And yeah, and the chat is probably right in that they keep saying you should have just released the previs, and I'm thinking maybe I should have just released the previs. I don't know. We'll see. Mate, I hope I can get it finished. I know, that's the problem, Finny. I know. But yeah, what else is going on? Sorry, very briefly. So yeah, work's fine, editing's fine. Bullshittery nearly finished, just need to polish it, need to queue up work for that artist. The dog is fine, she's sleeping behind me. I gave her a bath yesterday, so she should be nice and shampooed. But the first thing she did when she got outside is to roll in a dust puddle. Hooray! Yeah, beyond that, actually, sorry, thinking about it, now that it's in my mind, I need to go for a jog after the stream because I do have a beer belly and I don't want to have a beer belly. Where's my... hang on. I'll plug this in. I've got a set of ear hook wireless headphones. Earless? I'll show you. Hang on, let me show you. Got to plug these in. So I tried wearing normal headphones when I went for a jog, and they just fell out. My ears must be malformed or something because they just kept falling out. So I got these. So they just a hook, just goes around the back of the ear, so they stay in. So I just put the music on and I just go jogging until I get tired. Yeah, I like jogging. I enjoy it. I've always liked jogging. Yeah, they're fine and all, but I'm reluctant to pay for a really expensive pair because I keep sweating into them a lot. So it's like, am I going to pay shit tons of money for something I'm just going to destroy with sweat? Yeah, Alex, go for something like this then. These don't fall out, like at all, ever. It's cool. Oh really? Sculptura? Oh, okay. Sorry, bear with me. I'm just going to go plug these in because I want to go for a run. My phone as well. Here it is. Hi, gorgeous. Hi, gorgeous. The gaming man, I don't know what a chug is, but she's not a pug. That's a French bulldog. You can tell from the ears. So look at it. Yes, they do look quite similar, but the French bulldog has very large radar ears, and also the eyes. A pug's eyes are quite bug-eyed, whereas a French bulldog's eyes are normal proportioned. She's just got a flat snout. Hello, darling. What's up? You being cute? Yes. Oh, why? Whoa. And those ears both get all the dirt in the world stuck in them, and also here, every single packet of treats or plastic thing of cheese opening, doesn't matter where you are in the flat, they will pick up every little sound of food. You got a packet of crisps? Good luck eating those without getting the dog looking at you. Yeah. Yes. They're also excellent dogs for flats. They are completely comfortable with small spaces and close quarters, being a very much a people-focused close quarters flat dog, hence why they're very popular in the cities, and also their primary quality, the main thing that people go for when they pick this breed, one single reason: they are extremely quiet. They make practically no noise, which is good if you live in a city, in a flat with thin walls or whatever. If you want to get a dog and convince people that you're allowed to have a dog that never barks. Unless I say certain words, of course, and even then she won't bark loud. Lulu, there's a cat outside. Cat? That's it. Cat? That's her bark. Did you even hear that? Cat? That's it. That's the reason why people get French bulldogs. It's not Lulu specifically, it's the breed. They're bred not to be loud. Hi. Hello. Who's a good girl? Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Oh my God, you're so cute. Oh yeah, you're so cute. I love you. Yes. 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 So cute. In fact, I think you've earned a duck treat. She can't get it. Oh. Ah dear. How can you breed your girlfriend to be such a silent creature? Well, you send her to France about 200 years ago, and then make sure that her sponsors are the French nobility, who wanted a smaller English bulldog. So they took an English bulldog from England, obviously, so it's a ratting breed, so they're designed to hunt down rats in London, and they crossbred it with a pug, so hence the pug-like features, and some sort of unspecified mastiff breed, focusing on qualities that would appeal to French nobility. So they are quiet, they are friendly, they are compact, and I guess like cheese? Is that something? Was that intentional? Is that just you, or is that you or the breed? Hi. So she's also a very, she's a very cuddly lap dog, full of character. You wake up in the morning and she's flopped underneath one of your arms. They love cuddles. None specifically, Loon. Just a dog being a dog. Cats are weird and they smell weird. Thank you, R-Milk, by the way, and thank you, Morgman, before that, and Boise before that. Thank you. Hi. Oh, dear. Possibly Xandarum. I don't feel qualified to say, I'm afraid. I don't really know much about the topic. But they are a little demanding, in the sense that they won't tolerate being ignored. Will you? You get upset if I ignore you. Pampered, that's what she is. Okay, got a bit carried away there. Just to quantify how disgustingly dirty this dog is. Can you see the... No, you can't easily see it. Look at this! Look at that! Just grime. You are a disgusting animal. Okay, apologies folks, I'm going to bog off now. I've got quite a bit to do this morning. Feeling a bit between games, hence, yeah, not entirely sure what to play this morning. So, I'm just going to go get on with work. So, Armor Bullshittery, Part 10. The editing is done, I just need to polish it. So, it needs to go through a quality assurance process in which I watch the video, spot errors, and fix errors. So please give me this week to complete that. Before I start any of that, though, I want to queue up some work for an artist that I'm commissioning for a completely unrelated bullshittery. You're right. Some hair stuck. Right. Thank you again for watching, folks. Apologies for the, fairly slow stream. I'm going to crack on. So, let me just have a look and see who's doing what. So, Edberg is doing a bit of XCOM 2. Sheep is doing Final Fantasy XIV. And SWAT is doing Marauders, whatever that is. Okay. Let me hand you over to SWAT then. 1 second. Where is he? So this is ZF SWAT Night. Thank you again, folks. See you again soon, and take care.